Hey everybody, first of all, thank you so much for this beautiful number. I'm really happy that you are interested in my content, in my spray painting. I really appreciate it. That motivates me to continue what I do and just to post more videos, and which will motivate you to start the spray paint or to continue what you already do. So guys, a lot of you ask me, how do I make the stencils? And I got so many questions about that, so finally I decided to make the tutorial. This one will be just a basic information how to do this, and I don't recommend you to check how to make the multi-layer stencils before you learn how to make just one layer basic stencil. I do this one for almost 4 years, just a stencil work, and I checked so many tutorials how to make it. And don't worry about, I'll show you how to do this in next videos, but for now just watch this one. I'll explain which paper is the best, what kind of knife you can use, and how to protect the stencil, how to use it over and over. So for the beginning, you just need to go to search engine, and for example, for your first project you wanna paint the wolf, or just wanna start, I recommend you to try like this. Look, just type the wolf and you wanna have a stencil. You type the stencil, then you go to images and you can probably like see some stencils what people made already, but sometimes it's not really easy to find the stencil like this. I recommend instead of the stencil word, you just type silhouette. See, like this, and you see how many stencils you already have. Some of them copyrighted, and I don't know if you see the images may be subject to copyright, so be careful with that. I mean, for personal use I think it's okay, but if you wanna sell it, I recommend you to be careful with that. So for example, you don't want a wolf, you want to paint the car. Just go type the car and silhouette, and you can see so many cars you can cut out easily and just spray paint. But today I want to show you how to spray paint the elephant. You see how many examples, and I want to choose the simple one, just like, let me see which one is the best. Okay, let's try this one. Also guys, be sure to check the size of a picture, if dimension at least not below the 500. Like, you see this one, it's the quality really not good, and you cannot see the stencil very nice. So that's why I recommend you to find at least over 500. So this one 1000 by 751, this one will be perfect. Then just save the image. So elephant, save it. Okay guys, the first step will be if you have the printer and a Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, I'll show you how you can print it. And the second step, I'll show you how to use only the pen and your monitor, how you can transfer the image on your paper. So okay, just let me see, where is the image. Here's the image, and open the Photoshop, then open the new project, go to prints. That's where you can choose the format of your printing paper. If you live in Europe or other countries except the USA, you can choose A4 format. I don't know, you probably know better which one you use. I live in the USA, we use this one, and be sure that resolution is 300. So just check if you have the same settings, then go to create, then just put it on the side and drag this image into your canvas. Okay, then you can move it on the best side where you want to have it. Then over here you can just rotate with the left bottom, and if you press the shift, and you can rotate it with a certain degrees, so we need probably 90. You can choose where is the best fit for the stencil. Also, if you want to have a bigger size of a stencil, just hold the left bottom and change the size. Also press the shift key, and you see this, it will set the proportions of the picture, so it won't be like this. Just press the shift and change the size. I think this one will be, you see, like this one will be perfect. Then press OK. Also, good tip, if you want to save the ink, because you see it's all black, I recommend you to change the opacity for let me see, like 20 will be perfect. Sometimes I use even 4 if I print bigger stencils, so I don't wanna, like, the ink is expensive in USA and you can see it easily on a white paper. But for now, let's use, for the beginning, I recommend you use at least 20. Then go to File, then just use the format PNG, then just press 1, the file name, and OK. Alright, the next step, just look, for example, who don't have a Photoshop, you could just print like this, fit picture to frame, just uncheck it, you see, like that. But it's really hard to do this without the Photoshop. It's really hard to get the best dimension of the stencil and the best position, so you probably need to follow the next step after this. So look, just go to print, then be sure to unfit it, so it will save the dimension what you saved before. You could choose the smaller one, but we already know which one we need, and then just print and you will see the next step. Alright guys, I just print out this image, it looks like this. For this one I use the cardstock paper, it's thick enough. I'll explain on the next step what's the difference. And for this step I will use just it's regular printing paper, it's just thin, see, like that. The benefits of this paper, it's just so easy to cut, and especially if there are so many details. But I don't like this type of paper because you cannot use it over and over, just good enough for one project. But I'll show you right now the difference when I'm gonna spray paint and when I will cut it. So right now you can get any tape, open the file, you don't need to open this one. For this type, just open the black, and you need to tape the paper to the screen. Just be sure to tape it to the edge of the screen, not exactly to the screen, but to the edge. The next step is you have the paper size, and you can drag the window and you can choose the best size for your stencil. You can drag it on the best size, the best place is on the middle. So if you want to see it more clearly, just turn off the light or make it lower, like this. And for example, let's place it on the middle like this. Then just get a pen and be sure you won't press it so hard on the screen because you can damage it. And just use a pen and follow what I do. Before untape it, just check it again, like this. Okay, then we have two types of paper, the cardstock and just regular one. Look the difference. And this one just thin. This one is thick. This one is like, this one basically like a toilet paper. Personally, I can tell that this kind of paper is much better. But for the beginning, you can try both of them. You can choose which one you like more. On this one, it's much easier to cut details. This one a little bit harder, but benefits from this, you can use it over and over, especially if you put the tape on the top. I'll show you on the next tutorials how to do that. And it's so easy to keep it, just like you can put all your stencils in a box and it will be alright. This one, it's so easy to destroy, especially if it's wet outside, and it's much harder to keep it. But anyway, I'll show you right now how to cut them. Then what you need to know about, you can use two types of knives. Just for the beginning, if you have this kind of knife, it's like the construction knife, you can use this. It wasn't made for the stencils, but for the beginning you can try with this. Or you can buy this one, it's only about $7, and it came with 3 blades like this. You can change them. This blade I recommend for everybody because it's so easy to get the details like this, you see, and it just was made for the stencil. But if you don't have money for this and you have kind of like this one costs about $2, cheaper version. Just for the beginning you can try with this, and the length probably like that, you just need a little bit, so it will be easy to cut. After, you gotta have the cutting board. It's made special for the stencil, so you can cut 1,000 times and it won't get damaged. You see, like this, I cut so many stencils on this. Or this board, it was a cheap one. I bought it for about probably like $10 or $15. I got it on sale from Michael's. And if you don't have it, if you don't want to spend money in the beginning, just get some board, like paper board, then put it on it and you can cut it. But for people who have this one, I will show you on this board. So the first one, I'll show you how to cut with this kind of knife. Just remember, it's your first time. Don't expect to be perfect. Just this kind of stencil art, it comes with a practice, and if you make more stencils, you get more skills. It will be much easier to do this. Press like not really hard, but just like if you use just regular paper, try to make some lines. You will see what kind of pressure you need to do. So this one is made already, and after explaining why this paper is not really good, if you want to use this part, you see it's already like damaged. So okay, the next step is this one and this kind of knife. Just get a little bit of lens. Oh man, it's really uncomfortable to use. Okay, just like that. And you see, with this knife you don't get really good details, you can skip the silhouette. So at least if you wanna really seriously try this kind of art, just go and buy this kind of knife. You can, if you even won't do the spray paint, you can do a lot of useful things with this kind of knife. So alright, so look, compare this part, see, look at those details. And look at those details. Alright guys, for this last step you have to get any gloves just to protect your hand, because the spray paint is very toxic for your skin and it can cause the cancer. So I recommend you to get latex gloves. Also, the most important, the mask. The best filters is from the brand 3M. It's a pink and yellow. And for right now, look, you just have to be outside. If you don't have a mask, just paint outside and at least get some gloves. They're really cheap, it's like 10 cents for pair. And just go to any pharmacy store and buy any like latex, nitrile, any gloves just to protect your hands. Then the surface for the beginner, it can be any surface like metal, wood, or if you want to use a poster board, just be sure it's gloss like this. So you'll get the best quality. But for example, you got a like old table. Here are 2 stencils, and for beginning I recommend you to get any cheap spray paint, just one color. For example, you want to get black. I'll show you just on a white poster board so you see it more clearly. So the first one, you see, I'll show you right now the difference. You will see why the cardstock is much better. And when you spray it, don't spray too close like this. Spray it like about this distance from the paper, and spray, like shake it first and then like this. Alright. And remove it. Here is your first stencil. If you use this one, just be sure to press it, and the same one. Alright. You see the difference? Look at this. And this one. Also, that's, I told you about those parts. If you put it on the top, just shake the can well and spray it. You can get color around the silhouette. But with a cardstock paper, it's much easier. See that? Okay, the next small tip I recommend you, if you use the cheap paper like this, and if you want to get clear lines, I recommend you to buy something like this, the spray adhesive. I'll make you a different tutorial where I explain which one is the best, because this one is not what you really need. And just to show you, spray just a little bit, and look, just if you still want to use the cheap paper, it's so easy to use it with the spray adhesive, and you don't need to hold it with your hands. Just after this, it's so hard to keep it, and after the spray it becomes like a toilet paper. So that's it for now with this. And look at this one. And the stencil is still alright. This one will be a little bit extra. Just watch, I made some stencils so you can see it in more examples. This one I'll show you in the next tutorial. It's already 2-layered stencil. It's really easy to make, and just watch the progress. So you see just 2 steps, but I'll explain you this on the next videos. Just put it on the top. So that's how I do my stencils. It's so easy and simple. Just for 1-layer stencils, this is 2-layer stencil. I'll show you in the next videos, and that's basically how I do all of those ones. So easy, and you can do it also. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next videos, guys.